We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
All right, dude. Well, folks, this is the video that you've been looking for. Uh, this is our top five movies of all time, our favorite films of all time. Uh, Mitch, how are you feeling?
Why don't you? I feel good, man. I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's kind of put a lot of things into perspective,
Yeah,
like, and I thought it's been interesting too about how many times we reference uh our parents,
yeah,
like saying like they love this or they line this up for us.
yeah,
That's been kind of interesting because it
yeah,
makes you think like this is your heritage, and it makes you think about what you want to give to your children in terms of the cinema that they consume, and in terms of recognizing like the impact that it can have
yeah.
on their behavior and who they decide to become.
Well said, man. And I'm sure one day when both of our kids are old enough, we'll be able to share this with them, right? And, hopefully they'll have something that they love as much as we love movies. I don't ever want to put my passions for like pawn it off to someone else, But yeah, I just love movies, and so I hope both of our sons are, and Chloe, and then my
Levi
son
and
Levi
Vera.
and Vera are able to love something as much as we do. So top five. We're in the top five here. My number five movie. This movie, until recently, people have started to see its true genius. I saw its true genius back when I saw it, like in 2007. This movie is The Fall. I
Yes.
freaking love this. You knew this was on my top five, Mitch. You had to have known.
I knew it was in your top 25, that's for sure.
Yeah. So this movie, I've talked about it so much. This movie is filled with wonder. It's a fantasy. It's a movie about the movies, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
that's right.
a stunt coordinator, right? So it has all the elements that I love. It has a little romance in it. It has the perspective of a child, the innocence, right? It's brutal at times, right? It's disturbing. It's unsettling. But my God, this movie is why you go to the movies. And within the past, I think, year or so, I was so blessed to have watched this movie in theaters. They showed it
Oh
at Draft
man.
House, and I was overhearing a lot of people. A lot of people had never seen this movie, right? And so I was there, filled with tears, watching it with people who had never seen it. Everyone just in amazement, right? People were just blown away. Yeah, The Fall is my in my top five, and it's a bittersweet kind of thing, man. Because when I think about it, I actually own this movie on Blu-ray and DVD, two copies. But it was a couple of the films that were stolen from me. So, yeah, but I love this movie. I cherish it. It will forever be in my heart. Yeah, that's my number
That's
five.
right, man. Nobody can steal this movie from you because it's in your heart. Um, yeah, that movie was very impactful for me. That's one of those movies, sometimes people ask, "What's a movie that you watched and then immediately watched again?" That was one of those movies, and I
Yeah.
immediately also showed it to my family, my mom and my sister. It was my sister's first rated R movie, actually, and I got a little trouble for that because I didn't tell them that it was rated R. But
Yeah,
it's not like that. It's
it's
not
not.
intense or anything.
Yeah, it's
She
not.
was fine to watch it.
I think if it were released now, it probably would have been rated PG-13 for like strong violence, right? Uh, because it does have some violent things, but it's not. Yeah, I think this movie was really misrated.
Yeah,
Um,
and I don't have any problem saying, man, that I'm pretty sure that this movie is. I can't think of any like serious competition for it. I think it's the best child performance in a movie.
yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think so too. It was so natural, right? It was so natural. Um, I just love this movie, man. I
And
just
it
love
makes
it.
you wonder. I mean, Lee Pace. he's not stopped working.
Dude,
He's always done well, but he should have been a movie star.
he should have been and you know what, Mitch? We're talking about our top five, but I literally just came from a movie theater watching The Running Man, and he's in it.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
in it.
I mean, he hasn't stopped working. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just it's pretty incredible to still see him working. But yeah, I love this movie. Did I show it to you?
You did, man. There's no way I would have found this movie in O-Town if you hadn't found it for me. So that was a big gift to me, and it's been honestly like just in a being kind of weirdly probably it's one of those movies that's really kind of kept me going in very difficult times of life and times where I didn't want to keep going, and it's weirdly like it felt like a movie where I thought, for example, I have a daughter now, and there's no
Yeah,
way for me to know, when I watched this or as I kept watching it over the years that I was going to have a daughter. But I've had like Chloe's name picked out for whatever reason since I was like 19, 20. Like I've always
yeah,
thought that I would have a daughter, and I've always like felt like if there's no other reason, like I think I'm gonna have, you stay around for the future.
yeah,
It's not just your story. That's her whole point. She says
yeah,
it's my story too. And you just can't. The way she delivers those lines, the way she says, "It's my story. I could do what I want," and she says, "It's my story too." And that's how everybody should understand their lives. So
yeah.
it's one of the most powerful movies ever.
Well, I'm glad that it stayed with you this long, man. And yeah, The Fall is my number five. And Mitch, so what is your number five?
All right, so I know this. I'm not allowed to do this. We should have made a rule about this in the beginning. I've got
Okay,
another capper for you.
okay,
I watch this on Turner Classic Movies. I watch
okay.
this every year. Also, it's not It's a Wonderful Life, but I do watch this every year. Usually on the 4th of July, if that gives you a clue that it is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah,
This is one of 3 movies that I've ever said was my number one favorite movie of all time.
yeah. At
In my
one
life.
point, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of only 3 that I've ever said that about. Period.
Yeah,
It's not anymore. For whatever reason, maybe ask me on a different day. But when I watched it, I became so inspired. I thought, and the thing is, I get kind of the criticisms now today that it's schmaltzy, it's cornball, uh, and I don't know. Like we need heroes, We
yeah,
need heroes that do the impossible. And as a young boy watching this, like I thought, yeah, you stand your ground, man. You do what they say can't be done because
yeah,
everybody in that movie is saying, just roll over.
yeah,
This is just the way it happens in the adult world. And we can't believe that. Like just as people, we can't believe that
yeah,
that's just the way it is and there's nothing we can do about it, even if we can do one small thing, even if we can just stand there and and keep talking, keep telling the truth when everybody's telling you to shut up. It's that's and every year I watch it and I get a tear every year. It's
yeah.
just one of those movies for me. So
Wow. Well, I Jimmy Stewart, I very very good film. I for me, I'm not in love with it as much as you are, but yeah, I mean it's Capra, it's Jimmy, and
and Gene
I
Arthur.
yeah, and I think it's really 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 strong film. So my number four. Whew, gosh, I'm just getting emotional thinking about it, Mitch.
That's what the
Oh
top 5 will do to you, buddy.
God. All right. Uh, my number four movie saved my life. Um, you know, growing up as a teenager, I dealt with a lot of depression, a lot of trauma, right? Had a lot of bad things happen. And I'm not ashamed to say it, dealt with a lot of suicidal thoughts, right? And so one of my outlets was writing poetry, right? I would write poetry, and this really helped me, right, deal with these emotions. But there was still something missing. And then one day, I stumbled upon a movie, and this movie is called Once,
Mm.
uh, by the great John Carney. When
Hmm.
he has Sing Street on my list at number 17. Which, funny enough, he, this is the movie where I said Once was the movie that made me get into music. Sing Street was the movie that inspired me to keep going. Once as soon as I watched that movie, I had like old guitar that only had like four strings on it. I so much wanted to write a song, and although it only had four strings on it, and I only knew two chords, and this is two chords based off of a friend that I had watched him do these chords. I wrote my first song with two chords, and that song was American Girl. Right? It's my first
Yeah,
song I ever wrote,
I remember.
and from then on, I have not stopped writing music. I have not stopped using music as a therapy. And to this day, I still have people, who let me know that my music has helped them in some way. And that's because of this movie. This movie is a very small indie film. I think it's a true gem of a film. And it lit a fire in me that has stayed with me for almost my entire life. So that is why it's in my top five. Number four is Once.
Well, that's a great pick, man, and I love that movie. And John Carney is awesome, and I give a little love more than most people to Begin Again as well, because that one is about beginning again, and
Yeah.
sounds like that's what you were able to do, and music helped you do that. And watching you write music over the years has been one of my favorite things. Just it feels like you were one of those guys that just kind of picked up a guitar and kind of instinctively knew what to do with it. I mean, I'm sure like if a music professor examined you, they would. But like I would, some of your earliest songs, all those trumpets, uh, stuff like that would really just sit on me. Even like really early ones, like American Girl, I remember listening to, but like, oh, was it Blue? Or
Yeah.
what's the one with the mouse? Yeah.
Blue. Yeah.
There's a mouse in the. So I just, yeah, I'm so glad for this movie, just for that. But a good pick.
Thanks, man. So what's your next pick?
Um, so my next pick, I don't know if this is the one that got on the wrong list for you or not, but if it's not, I mean, I know I'm about to hear about it. This is a movie that you pressured me into watching, promising me, swearing to me that it was going to make sense in the end.
Okay.
Uh, Me and my roommate queued it up, and we watched it for 3 hours. And by the end, depending on your disposition, sense was somehow made. Uh, my roommate broke a chair, not liking the conclusion. Just picked up his desk chair and smacked it down and broke it. And that's a powerful movie, okay? And if you don't know what it is yet, it's Magnolia. I haven't stopped thinking about it. I haven't stopped processing it. It hasn't stopped influencing me since I watched it. Um, I would say, I still have friends, and we all use the word magnoliating. Um, I wrote I was a double major. I wrote one of my senior theses about the concept of magnolia. You know, uh, as we just invented it.
Yeah.
You, me, others. Just kind of creating like this little miniature cult around this movie. And making so many decisions and just like following the magnolia. I know I sound like a raving dude right now, but
Yeah.
it's just a movie that's that influential. Like it's got like a biblical proportion to it, and I love movies like that. I love almost every line in this movie. I love John C. Riley's Officer Jim Curring. Um, uh, it's a very spiritually vivid movie, and I I feel like over the years, like as I see more discourse to it, I have to like almost put some armor on, not to defend it as a movie, but just to defend my experience with it, kind
Yeah.
of just protect the experience that I had with it. And so yeah, it's always going to be up there. I love this movie.
Well, well, first of all, this was not the movie that I forgot to put on there. So there's that. But secondly, sneak peek, everyone. But next year I will be releasing an album titled Magnolia. So please be on the lookout for that.
Oh, we on the
So,
lookout.
so wait, what number are we on?
That was my number
Okay,
4.
so we're on number three then, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, well, Mitch, I'm starting to think that the movie that I had mentioned may not be on your.
I Yeah, don't be surprised, dude, because there's another one that I was gonna guess for it. There's another.
Okay,
I mean, I would say there's another two that I could easily guess for it. So
okay. Well, I'm still like I hope it's in there because I really want to talk about it. So,
hang in
anyways,
there.
my number three is finally I have a Frank Capra movie that is
Oh
It's a
yes,
Wonderful Life.
let's go.
It's a
Good,
Wonderful Life. Were
good,
you
good,
worried
good.
that this one wasn't on there?
Oh, it was like I said. There's a couple more that I could have guessed would have been it. So
Was this it? Was this it? The one that you
that
thought?
that's private. What do you think about this movie? I've never heard of it. Tell me more about it.
Dude. Oh man. Look, Vanessa had never seen it. I showed it to her a few years back. We both cried. Even though I've
As you
seen this,
do.
even though I've seen this movie 100 million times, but I'm gonna tell you. Look, there's so much that can be said about this movie, but I'm gonna tell you uh, a moment in my life why I love this movie, and that is, you know, a few years back, I was I was in between work. I was out of a job. I couldn't really afford anything to buy Vanessa, right? And I was like, oh, I don't know what to get her, and this was around Christmas time, right? She had already seen the movie, right? The I had already showed it to her the year before, and I just was like racking my brain. I was like, to the point of prayer, Mitch, like asking God, what do I do? How do I like?
I'm not a praying man, God, but
Like what do I do? I want to get my wife something, but it's like what do I do? And so I looked online and I got her and I framed it. I got her a replica of the George Lasso's The Moon.
nice.
And when she opened that, dude, it was almost as if I had gotten her like a diamond ring or a diamond necklace or the most expensive thing. And she just let it all out. She just started crying. Vera and Levi were asking her, "Why are you crying?" And she was like, "Because this means a lot to me. This is so beautiful." So that is why "It's a Wonderful Life" is in my top three films. I love it.
And when she found out she was pregnant, she said, "Samuel Kalunga Lasso Stork."
Oh no, she didn't say that. But yeah,
and
that's my
and
number three.
frankly, that's a weird reveal. But anyways,
What's your
um,
what's your next up? It's your top three, right? Your next.
yeah, we're in the top 3 territory there, and this is a movie, another one of the 3 movies that I've ever said was my favorite movie. Um, and it was actually came to me not until I was in college. A friend insisted I watch it and gave me uh, her DVD, and it was Into the Wild by Sean
Wow,
Penn,
dude,
starring Annie Irish.
yep, I forgot how much you love this movie, and I didn't even think that this could be on your list. Wow, yep,
Well, like Lawrence of Arabia, it might have had a little bit of bad influence on me, but it had a lot of good influence too. It's a movie that meditates on the beauty of the world and thinks about what it would mean to really see it, or what it would cost even to
yep,
really see it. What it really means to love someone. Is
yep,
it just going around and appreciating them and writing about them in your journal, or is it
yep,
living with them day to day and all the arguments and the pain. Um, uh, it's a movie that, you know, puts you right, puts a young man right on the edge of running away. I think that impulse is present in a lot of young men. Um, well, there's no guarantee that you'll come back.
Yeah,
Obviously, spoiler, he didn't. But the impact is fractal, right? It's not
yeah,
just it doesn't just do one thing, that movie. It does a lot of things. I've said this about a few movies on the list. It's like a great volume of poetry. And I even though like I think I've kind of pivoted in terms of how I would like that movie to define me, and so it's not my number one anymore. It's still a huge part of my story, and
wow,
I always love that movie.
wow, great pick, man. First of all, I read the book before I watched the movie, and
Inverse for me.
the book is one of my all-time favorite
Me too.
books.
It's even in some ways I would say it's objectively better than the movie.
Yeah,
They're doing two different things, but I love that book. I've got two copies on my shelf. If anybody out there wants one, I'll send it to you.
dude, I actually lost my copy of it.
So I got
Wait,
coming to you. I'm going to send you back Train Dreams, and I'm going to include 500 Days of Summer and Into the Wild.
dude, wait, maybe one of those copies is mine because I lost mine.
No, no, I know how I got them both.
Wow. Well, so it's funny that you say this movie both influenced you in a bad way, but in a good way as well. The same thing for me. It influenced me in in a way where for a good for a little short amount of time, I was traveling around, and I would do Lyft and Uber to make money,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And I would live in my car, and I just had a little blanket and a little pillow that
Oh yeah,
I stashed in my trunk, and
same.
that's what I did. And that movie inspired me to do that, but it also inspired me not to go the distance that he did. Right? It inspired me. Hey, I need to come back. I need to build a family just like my parents did, right? Like I not that I needed, but I wanted to. Mitch. This
Yeah.
movie is extremely powerful. I'm glad you put it on your list. It's another one that probably would be on my top 100. But yeah, such a great pick. So we're on number two, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mitch. Well, my number two. Look, if you would have asked me a few years back, it probably would have been my number one.
Mhm.
It's one of those where it keeps flip flopping. But
Mhm.
my number two movie is Rooting, Rooting,
Oh,
Rooting,
I'm surprised. I'm
Rooting,
surprised that's your number two.
Rooting. Oh my gosh, Rudy, dude. This is the movie that my dad showed me that influenced me most. That we both, that scene early in the beginning whenever Rudy is just sitting up close to the TV and
Mhm.
they're watching the game.
Mhm.
That was me and my dad, except I was watching movies and I was
Mhm.
watching the movie Rudy, just in amazed, and we're just there, and oh my god, dude, Rudy.
Well,
Whew, it's the greatest sports movie ever made. It's the greatest inspirational movie ever made, in my opinion. Actually, both It's a Wonderful Life and Rudy kind of, once again, It's a Wonderful Life was at one point my number two, and then at one point also my number one. So my top three kind of switch back and forth.
well, it sounds like, I mean, that's a good thing for movies. In fact, our esteemed commenter, Dan from the Goods of Film podcast, was saying the same thing about his top three. Ask him on any day they exchange. But I was surprised. I was thinking maybe Rudy was your number one. Now I think I know what your number one is, and I think I know what you left off the list. But Rudy, that's a great pick, and it's powerful every time you watch it. And that's not something you could take for granted in movies. People talk about that with It's a Wonderful Life. I talk about that with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Like, it's powerful every time you see it. Like, literally every time. Like, it gives you a tear. Like, what? Like, because some movies, it's so. I think, yeah, you watching Rudy as a kid, and you're like, instead of saying, I'm going to go play for Notre Dame, you're like, I'm going to go be a filmmaker. Now, all you need from me to do is die in a factory so you can finally get inspired
Dude,
to go make it happen.
you're gonna be in Panera and you're gonna break your finger and somehow you're gonna fall down.
Ah! I gotta do this for Mitch. Get my jacket on that he gave me.
Dude, I always hear anytime I'm like wanting to give up on something, I always hear the music from Rudy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, man!
It's
We could make a whole video on Rudy. Okay, we can make a
oh
whole
yeah,
video on It's a Wonderful Life. Who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we
yeah.
will
That's
one day.
right. We're just talking on the phone here.
Yeah. So, Mitch, what is you're on your what number?
I got number 2 coming up for you,
All right,
buddy.
what's your number two?
So I don't know if this is the one you left off or not, but okay. Uh, this is a movie that I got out of a red box, the way Terrence Malick intended it. Pretty sure because you were putting the elbow on me. Uh, my first Malick, The Tree of Life.
Oh, dude, this is the one I left off.
I'm so sorry, man.
Oh,
You
dude.
are so. Oh my goodness. You know what? Your list is gonna be memorialized forever. I've already got a guy carving it into stone, and
No,
it's not gonna have
dude,
the Tree of Life on it. No
dude,
take
no.
backs. The Tree of Life is. I'd never seen a movie like it before. I'd never seen what he was doing with that before. Uh, you know, not much difference to narrative structure. But there is a narrative there. It's about a boy growing up in Texas, but it's about everything. It's about the cosmos. It's about the beginning of the world. It's about the end of the world. It's about Job. It's about Genesis. It's about Revelation. It's about John, Matthew, Mark, Luke. It's all of it. It's everything.
Yeah,
Uh, it's the tree of life.
yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah. Um, I drove 2 to 3 hours to watch this in theaters, and to this day,
Where?
it was I think in Hoover. Yeah,
How?
like
Where were you that it took you 3 hours to get to Hoover?
no, Hoover. I'm from Susanmore. Take
Susan Moore,
long,
it's like an hour and a half tops.
dude. No, no, no. It's not Hoover, but past Hoover. I can't remember the town.
Okay, anyways, 3 hours in teenage boy years who has limited gas fund.
Dude, shut up. I, I drove a long time to go see this movie, and I remember sitting in the theater just being like, "What the f
Yeah.
is this movie?" And then little by little, people were walking out, and I was like,
Oh, they
"Wait,
walked out?
yeah." People were walking out, in like like one after the other. People were dropping, and I remember just sitting there, and by the end of it, I was like, "Those people who walked out missed one of the most spiritual experiences ever." And
Well, that's
maybe it takes a certain right. Maybe it takes a certain type of person to truly appreciate the kind of film that it is, right?
yeah, and
Maybe.
I don't want to know if, I mean, to the extent that that might sound condescending, maybe it's just not for everybody, but yeah, I mean, that's a little synchronicity with my experience because, like I said, I got at the Red Box, we put it on at the Murray's house, and
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, I was the only one left in there, and I like grabbed a stool because we started on the couch, and I grabbed a stool and like set it right into the TV, and I was just like watching it like I was like on Mount Sinai communicating with God or something. I was just like, what? Where has this been? This is explaining so much. Like, it explains so much about kind of where my faith journey was. I don't even know like how to because it's not something that you would think of as providing structure for you. But I felt
Yeah.
like when I was watching it, I was like, this is true.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like and like the stuff that I had really been because I finished the Bible the first time in like
Yeah.
ninth, 10th grade, and I was just like seeing like Ecclesiastes for the first time and Job for the first time, really like in full, and like seeing like, oh, this is a much more robust, like it just cleaned up so much,
Yeah.
like for me, and this movie was like a part of that insofar as it just shows you a person experiencing life with intellectual honesty. Um, I don't know what to say, but definitely easy number 2. could be number one.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this was in my
So,
top 10. I
okay, it would have
played,
been in your top 10 for sure.
yeah, it would have been in top 10 for sure. Maybe top five. Yeah, probably cracking in there. But anyways, my number one movie. It's no secret. I talk about this movie all the time. I talk about Paul Thomas Anderson all the time. That movie is, of course, Magnolia.
Wow, how magnoliating.
Magnolia.
We both had
Magnolia.
this on our list.
Dude, to be honest with you, I'm kind of a little bit hurt, Mitch, because
Yeah,
you put this at your, what was it, your number four?
I think, yeah, four.
You put this as your number four, and it's almost an insult to me that this movie is not in your number three, because
You'll get over it.
we could literally change the title of our our podcast to the Magnolia podcast, because this what more these things happen. These things
These
happen.
strange things happen all the time.
They happen all the
This
time.
cannot be just a matter of chance. This, no, please cannot be that.
God, man, I remember dude, I was just as excited watching it as whenever I was pleading for you to watch this movie.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
man.
kept
I
saying,
know. Like you were probably over there smirking and snickering, like knowing that we were just
like,
suffering to some extent.
yeah, like I was just like, and you know what? Did it make sense at the end, Mitch?
It made a sense. It made a sense was made. A sense was like forced. You know, it wasn't organically there. That's for sure. To the extent that you spoilers have amphibians raining from the sky could be called sense. It's the kind of sense that you basically have to make peace with
Yeah.
in this planet.
Yep. This is Magnolia is my favorite movie of all time. Once again, my top three movies kind of switch over, and who knows? Maybe whenever next year, whenever I have my son, maybe Rudy will be my favorite, or maybe It's a Wonderful Life, or maybe a completely different one. Who knows? Maybe maybe I'll put in Shark Tale because he loves Shark Tale, or maybe I'll put in the Bluey
Shark
movie
Tale is gonna jump 1,800 movies to your number one spot.
because my
It's
son
sitting right
loves
now at
that movie.
1,806. I remember when Sam ranked his top 4,000 movies in order.
Oh man, but yeah, so Magnolia is my number one. I already know what your number one is, Mitch. I already know by process of elimination.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. There's no chance that It's a Wonderful Life is not gonna take my number one spot. The most consistently powerful movie in my life, a movie that put me on the right path, that took me off the Into the Wild path and put me on the It's a Wonderful Life path. Uh, yeah, gonna go build cities. I'm gonna see things. I'm gonna see the world. Okay, yeah. But he did the right thing, and it did nothing for him. It did nothing for him. He had his whole life planned out, but he did the right thing. A long obedience in the right direction. George Bailey, true American hero,
yeah,
all-time influence that you want to have on yourself. Uh, that you could change so many lives if you do the right thing, if you're honest, if you care about your neighbor, if you love others, love your wife, love your kids, love your dad, love your mom, love your brother. Um, yeah, that, what else can be said for a movie I'm going to be watching here in a few weeks?
yeah. So will
Gonna
I,
be queuing that one up.
and most likely in theaters. I want to try to see it in theaters because
Yeah, I'd
usually
like to do that again too.
they'll play it here. I know Vanessa for sure wants to watch this movie again.
Have you
Um,
ever been? I know you've been to the Alabama Theater. Have you
no,
ever seen a movie there?
no, I haven't. I remember one year. I forget. Yeah, I think one year y'all went, and then I think I wasn't in town, I can't remember why I didn't go.
Well, we
But
went a bunch. We saw Casablanca there, Sound of Music. Of course, It's a Wonderful Life. Some other movies there, but
yeah,
it's a for those of you who don't know, listening, it's like a 19th century historic theater in Alabama, and they do live shows there, music and plays, and
yeah.
of course movies.
I've always wanted to go, and It's a Wonderful Life is a movie that I would it would be my top film to watch there, but
Yeah, we had
unfortunately,
tickets,
yeah.
and we were gonna, me and Lori were gonna go because she's never been there and she'd never seen it on the big screen, and they called it off at the last minute for COVID.
Oh
We were
God!
walking out the door last minute. They sent us an email.
Wow! 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 Well, that's unfortunate, but dude, I'm glad you put "It's a Wonderful Life." I'm glad that my number three is "It's a Wonderful Life," and yeah, maybe in a year it'll probably be my number one as well. But dude, I'm just so fortunate, so blessed to be able to have a conversation with you about the thing we love is movies, and I know it's your Sunday. You want to be hanging out with family, the most important thing, and just want to thank you for sharing your list, and I hope listeners, you enjoyed our long. It was a long road, but we finally got here. So,
Right. Well, I
uh,
think you might be forgetting that I get two honorable mentions.
oh yeah, I was almost about to cheat you from your two honorable mentions, Mitch. Real quick, why don't you share your two honorable mentions?
All right. Just off the top of my head, I'm gonna throw in Casablanca and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Okay, two great classics. Another Jimmy Stewart in there. I think we both love Jimmy Stewart, don't we?
Yeah. Well, next time we definitely need to do a Frank Capra cap because 20% of my list was Frank Capra.
Yeah, we should just do a video all about Frank Capra movies. I'll probably have to watch a lot more. There's a lot of his films that I haven't seen, but I have seen quite a bit of it. But
Mm.
Mitch, I'll let you get to your family. I got to go back inside as well. It was great talking with you, man, and audience, listeners. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our top 25 movies of all time.
Yeah, man. And send us yours.
There you go. All right, I'll talk to you later.